Здравствуйте, друзья!
Good evening, friends! You are watching the Global Mutual Fund weekly newscast. My name is Maria Savinova, and today news block. Manifesto of the Financial Apocalypse. MMM participants summarize the results of the system's newspaper distribution. Participatory citizenship. The MMM participants hold protest pickets outside the Eastern District of Moscow Prosecutor's Office. Branded delusions. The head of the All-Union Center for Public Opinion presented a claim to the ideologies of MMM system. East Business, East Perspective. Development team promote MMM in Asia actively.
А теперь об этих и других событиях более подробно.
And now let's talk about this news in details. The first stage of the advertising campaign in the distribution of the MMM newspaper on the streets of the Russian capital have finished. The aim of this campaign is not only to inform Russian people, but also attracting mass attention, gain hearts and minds of readers. Watch about the newspaper manifest in our correspondent material.
People take newspapers and they do it consciously, because we notify them about what is it and who the author is. This issue consists of 13 articles written by the MMM ideologists on the 4 pages of newspaper. Font, design, semantic load of materials focused on the word lightning and on the foundations of the Global Mutual Fund. The issue gives us a detailed answer to main question: who we are and what we can. The mass media named it is a manifest of financial apocalypse newspaper version, and the MMM community told that it is a daily book. Participants themselves define the essence of the first free newspaper simpler as all the true about MMM and in MMM. And this slogan is said by all promoters. Distribution campaign of the system newspaper began 10 days ago. This process was compared by the participants as a roll wave through the streets of the metropolis, or even as a MMM bombing. Such effective was the action, despite the fact that it involved a little more than 100 people. Moscovites got addressable in hands about 15,000 newspapers in 5 days.
We have developed a scheme for the distribution of the system newspaper in such a megapolis as Moscow, and this scheme will help us to carry a high organization level in future. We do the main emphasis on the place and time. The place is a metro station of the third ring, and the time is the beginning and the end of a workday. At this time, the maximum amount of contingent is present on the streets. The newspaper distributes at an incredible rate in peak hour.
The organizer of this action were the activists of the MMM guard system in the name of Andrew Kim. Such quick distribution of the newspaper proves the great interest of the Russian capital residents to MMM system and to the person of Sergei Mavro.
During the last week, the MMM activists made series of pickets under the slogan "Manifest Your Civic Position." Activists protested against the law enforcement inaction. They demanded to prosecute the killer of Andrew Kim. This time, the MMM activists hold pickets near the investigation department of the Eastern District of Moscow and prosecutor's office of the Eastern District of Moscow. Such place was chosen to make the Russian Themis has felt the public control over the murder investigation.
There was a series of kicks, and in result the man was laying still, not after an hour or 10 minutes, but at the same time.
The activists are outraged that the police released the killer on his own recognizance the next day. They guess that such loyal attitude to the person who killed the man is unacceptable. It also became clear the criminal case is still not opened.
Today, 25th of October, we held a series of pickets.
Activists expressed their protest not only on the posters, but they also have voiced it to those who are not indifferent to this issue.
I disagree with the injustice that we have in our country.
Activists also have protested and organized pickets in the vicinity of the station Sholkovo, where Andrew Kim was killed. Capital citizens also supported the civic attitude of the activists.
He must be punished for sure.
Activists of the Global Mutual Fund consider that everyone has to show his civil attitude to make street murders not a simple phenomenon. They themselves are going to protest as long as the authorities will not hold impersonal for the public investigation of the murder.